Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I'm Mike Egobadio. Here are our top stories. Tinubu holds security meeting amid troops salary roar. Osun polls Adeleke Oyebamiji clash over PVC sale claims. Canal Plus complete multi-choice acquisition. The foreign scene, Iran buries slain supreme leader after mass funeral. And on sport, Japan boosts Nigerians grassroots badminton. Now to the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has met with the nation's security chiefs at the presidential villa in Abuja amid growing criticism over the welfare of military personnel and calls for implementation of a promised salary increase for troops. Now, the meeting came after Defense Minister Mohammed Abubakar said the minimum monthly salary for Nigerian soldiers has been raised to 100,000 naira. However, several personnel and military veterans described the amount as inadequate, urging the federal government to fulfill President Tinubu's March promise of a new salary structure to address rising living costs and boost troops' morale. The closed-door meeting brought together the National Security Advisor, service chiefs, intelligence heads, and other top security officials to review the country's security situation. It followed recent military operations against terrorists and bandits in the northeast and northwest, including successful offensive in Zamfara, Katsina, and Borno State. Meanwhile, the defense minister maintained that government has improved soldiers' welfare but acknowledged that defense funding remains insufficient. He also called for tougher penalties, including death sentences for convicted kidnappers as part of efforts to curb insecurity across the country. Troops of Operation Haidekei has intercepted a suspected foreign drug courier and recovered a large consignment of illicit drugs, alcoholic beverages, and other prohibited items allegedly made for terrorists operating in Lake Chad Island of Borno State. Now, the suspect had been fired for the 8-year-old Chadian national, Mrs. Rachel Samuel, was arrested during a search operation along the Maduguri-Mungunu Road while traveling towards Doran Gaba in Kukwa, local government area. The Nigerian Army said the operation was carried out on Thursday. Recovered items include about 30 kilograms of suspected cannabis, containers of toxic chemicals, dry gin, herbal alcoholic drinks, cash, ATM cards, and a mobile phone. The military said the items valued at millions of naira had been secured, while the suspect remains in custody pending further investigation. The army said interception disrupted a key terrorist supply chain, noting that insurgent groups often rely on illicit drugs and intoxicants to aid their operation. They urged residents to continue providing timely information to support ongoing counter-terrorism efforts in the Northeast. Away from that, a commercial motorcyclist has lost his life after being swept away by floodwaters in Agbo, the headquarters of the South local government area of Delta State. Now, the incident occurred on Wednesday night after hours of heavy rainfall caused severe flooding across the area. The victim had reportedly taken shelter from the rain when his motorcycle was swept into a drainage channel by the rushing floodwaters. Witness said the rider entered the fast-flowing water in an attempt to recover the motorcycle, but was overwhelmed by the current. His body was later recovered by residents. The downpour left several streets flooded and drainage channels overflowing, raising fresh concerns over the danger posed by heavy rains and inadequate drainage infrastructure. The Osun State Governor, Ademola Adeleke, and the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate, Bola Oyebamiji, has traded accusation over alleged attempt to buy permanent voters' card ahead of the August 15 governorship election. Now, Governor Adeleke accused the APC of orchestrating a scheme to purchase PVCs and collect voters' PIN numbers in a bid to disenfranchise eligible voters. He called on the Independent National Electoral Commission to investigate the allegation and prevent any attempt to compromise the electoral process. In response, Oyebamiji alleged that the unnamed politicians were offering cash to residents in exchange for their PVCs. He urged voters not to sell their cards and promised an inclusive administration with support for traders in local communities if elected governor. The governorship election is scheduled for August 15, with Governor Adeleke seeking a re-election, while Oyebamiji and other candidates prepare to challenge for the state top office. In business, MultiChoice has officially become a wholly owned subsidiary of French media giant Canal Plus, marking the completion of one of Africa's biggest media acquisition. Now, the deal brings parent company of DSTV, GoTV, and Showmax into the Canal Plus global network, which operates in 70 countries. Company executives said the integration will strengthen MultiChoice's ability to expand its content offering, technology, and streaming service across Africa. Canal Plus said the acquisition will boost investment in local content production, sport broadcasting, and digital entertainment, while helping MultiChoice compete more effectively with global streaming platforms such as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney+. Now, the takeover follows Canal Plus' gradual acquisition of shares in MultiChoice, culminating in full ownership after receiving regulatory approvals. Industry analyst says the deal marks a major step in the consolidation of African media and also entertainment sector. Now, diesel prices have increased across major depots in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Warri, while petrol prices remain largely stable despite renewed tension in the Middle East. Market data shows diesel loading price rose to a high as 1,550 naira per litre in some locations, driven by adjustment from major depot operators. In contrast, strong competition among marketers and Dangote Petroleum Refinery has kept petrol price relatively unchanged in parts of the country. In Lagos, Dangote Refinery and several marketers maintain petrol price at 1,075 naira per litre, while some depots recorded only marginal increase. However, Port Harcourt saw sharper petrol price adjustment, with some depot raising price by as much as 50 naira per litre. Now, industry analysts said the varying price movement reflects a difference in transportation costs, depot inventories, and regional demand, underscoring the evolution dynamics of Nigerian downstream petroleum market. And with that, we need to go on a break now. But do remember, when we come back, more news as it concerns the foreign scene and the ever-exciting world of sport. Join us.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
And on the foreign scene, Iranians gather in large numbers in the northeastern city of Mashhad for the burial of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, despite scorching temperatures and calls for revenge following his death in an Israeli airstrike. Khamenei was killed in late February during the opening days of the Israel and United States war on Iran, ending more than 35 years as the country's supreme leader. His funeral concludes 6 days of nationwide mourning ceremonies held across Iran and also Iraq. Officials said millions of mourners attended the burial at the shrine of Imam Raza, Iran's holiest site, with water sprinkles deployed to help people cope with the intense heat. The funeral prayer was led by senior Ayatollah Husseini. Khamenei was also being buried alongside several family members who were reportedly killed in the same February airstrike. At least 12 people have been killed in fast-moving wildfire spreading through Spain's southern Andalusia region, in what authorities describe as the deadliest blaze in the area's recent history. Several others remain missing as emergency crew continue search and rescue operation. The fire broke out near Los Galados in Almeria province before strong winds spread the flames to neighboring communities. Several victims were found trapped inside their vehicles while trying to escape, with 6 others were injured and dozen residents were evacuated. Now, more than 300 firefighters and emergency personnel, including Spain's military emergency unit, have been deployed to battle the blaze as thick smoke forced the closure of major highways. Investigators are examining the cause of the fire, with early reports suggesting a downed power line may have sparked the flames. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez expressed condolence to the victims' families and urged residents to remain cautious. The wildfire comes amid intense heat wave across Western Europe, with experts warning that rising temperatures are increasing the risk of devastating wildfire across the continent. And the ever-exciting world of sports, Badminton Federation of Nigeria received a major boost following the donation of training equipment by the Badminton Association of Japan under the Sport for Tomorrow initiative. The presentation held in Abuja brought together top sport officials and diplomats, including the Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, Suzuki Haida, who described the donation as a symbol of a strong sporting partnership between both countries and a step towards developing badminton in Nigeria. The donated items include 55 badminton rackets, 44 shuttlecocks, racket covers, and bags. Now, the president of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, Francis Obi, said the equipment would strengthen grassroots development and revealed that another shipment of 500 rackets, 100 nets, and 200 shuttlecocks is expected soon. The National Sport Commission commended the initiative, saying improved access to quality equipment will enhance athletes' development and boost Nigerian competitiveness in international badminton competitions. France has secured a place in the semi-finals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup after defeating Morocco 2-0 in a quarter-final match in Boston, the United States. Several half goals from Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele sealed the victory for the 2018 World Cup champions, who dominated the encounter despite an impressive performance from Moroccan goalkeeper Hussein, including a safe penalty from Mbappe in the first half. Now, the win set up a semi-final clash against either Spain or Belgium, while Morocco's campaign came to an end after failing to seriously trouble the French defense throughout the match. Elsewhere, FIFA head of refereeing Colina dismissed claims of bias in favor of the defending champions Argentina ahead of the quarterfinal game against Switzerland. England will also face Norway in another last eight tie, with striker Erling Haaland insisting the pressure is firmly on the English side. But anyway, let's see how it plays out soon. Well, let's go check what the weather would look like for major cities across Nigeria today. Well, it looks as if it's going to be a rainy day today, as much as it will look like that throughout the weekend. But anyway, with the weather forecast, that brings us to the end of the news on Atlantic TV. I remain Michael Gobadia. God bless you. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.